'Tis I. Hey everyone, glad to see you back, glad to see you looking fresh, and today we continue along our humongous entertainment journey here with a new Putt Putt adventure, one of my absolute favorites. Today we are covering Putt Putt Travels Through Time. So let's roll the intro. We begin our journey as Putt Putt, of course, and Pep, our trustful companion, as we go and see Mr. Firebird once again. Yes, Mr. Firebird, the same one that shot us to the moon on a firework, has now changed professions, changed his fireworks factory, and is now working on a time portal, a device that allows you to see into the past and the future and what can go wrong with Mr. Firebird, but we get sent through the space-time continuum and we enter our split paths in 4 different directions. We can go to the Old West, we can go to the dinosaur age, we can go to the medieval era, and of course the distant future. Now, when it comes to this game, I said in the intro, I love this one. It was one of the later ones I got as a kid, and I just loved the adventure that this one goes on. From the get-go, it's a 4-way split path. None of these paths interconnect with the other ones. Like if you go to the dinosaur age, you're not going to run into someone from the future. But all these paths each have their own diverging path, and it's just a wonderful like tree effect of being able to go down each route and see different things along the way. But let's start where time started. A land before time, if you will. Let's go hang out in the dinosaur lands, and we can hang out with a bunch of different dinosaurs. There's an Apatosaurus, there's a T-Rex, there's even on a wheel, which is such a clever little thing, because of course we're a car, so what would our ancestor be but just a wheel? So we hang out with wheel to wheel, build a bridge, get to have some primordial soup. Wonderful. We get to help out another dinosaur, scratch some itchy spots, and see some pterodactyls. It's a wonderful little area. I will say this area is the most familiar to me. This was one of the later ones I got as a kid, so I played the demo for this one a lot before I was able to finally get it. And pretty much the entire demo took place in the dinosaur land. You could go to the other ones as well, but you couldn't do much other than pop into the portal and see what it looked like, hear the music, feel the atmosphere. But you could do one puzzle here, and that was build the bridge with wheel. So he is very familiar to me, and this Triceratops is very familiar to me because there's a part where you have to get some hay and give him the hay so he gets off your book reports. Oh, I didn't even mention, why are we traveling through time? We have to collect things, as we do in these games. We have to collect Putt Putt's book reports, his lunchbox, his calculator, and Pep is missing. And it's always weird when Pep's gone. For this one, yeah, Pep is one of the things we have to try to find. And each of the 4 lands has one of the objects we have to find. And those can be randomized in any direction. So sometime any one object can land in any of the 4 timelines, which is cool. So there's a ton of replayability, a ton of it. Because yeah, sometimes you can play it and the book report can be, like I said, with the Triceratops. You have to give him the hay for it. You can play that like twice. They can like duplicate, but then sometimes like the calculator will be in one spot and Pep will be in another, and vice versa. Like the randomness in this one, it's gonna be a little bit hard to be able to fully see this game perfectly, because it's not like it's a fairway, like 4-way let's go and be able to re-roll it perfectly. Because like I said, sometimes like if the book report's here, that doesn't mean necessarily that something else is gonna be somewhere else, if that makes sense. Anyway, continuing on, there's a T-Rex, and of course we do the old scaredy thing of the T-Rex is actually scared of you, so there's nothing to be worried about. But yeah, I love the dinosaur area, I love the music in this spot. So let's jump next to the Old West. Because if you know me, you know I say all the time, I love games with dinosaurs and cowboys, and this game has both, so no wonder I love it so much. And the Old West is one of the coolest areas because we get to you know, see like a classic old west town. It's got a saloon, it's got a barn, it's got a train station, and we help out the train. And then we can go on other little adventures. So a little map system here. We can go hang out with a gold miner. There's a path through the desert with different animals to find. There's a ghost town. There's a mining shaft. There's a ton of stuff to see here. And it's one of the biggest areas of the game. And it's just really cool. Like I said, the music's wonderful. The characters are super cool in this area. It's just really fun to be able to explore the Old West. And different spots here pertain to different pathways. Like this one, we have to hunt down Pep and go find him throughout the way. And I had to replay this game 3 times because my recording software broke. 3 times playing this game, so I got to see a couple different pathways throughout my experiences with this. But luckily, I love this game so much that it wasn't a problem. But that's pretty much there for the Old West. The medieval era is the smallest. There's basically like one straight up puzzle. We have to unstick a door with an oiling can. That's a classic Humongous Entertainment thing. We saw it in Pajamas Sam. We may see it again in the future. Oil is the cure-all for rust, as we all know. So we use that to get into the castle because it was raining and the castle gate shut, which is unfortunate because if we never came along, I guess the gates would never open again. But we go in there, we can see Merlin, the wizard. There's a dragon helping a blacksmith. There's a king. There's even a mini game back here, but like this one isn't super big. There's not a lot of stuff to see and do here, a lot of neat characters, but like, Merlin's pretty cool. I think the crown jewel, though, to anyone that wasn't a big dinosaur kid like me or a Western adult like I am now, the future is the pinnacle of what this game has to offer. I remember coming into the demo and seeing like just the starting point of the future, looking at this telescope and seeing different characters that I don't recognize because they're parts of this game, but also little nods to other Humongous Entertainment franchises, which is a ton of fun. And finally, I remember getting this game and being able to go into like the town of what the future has, and there's so much cool. This is where you can change your paint job, and you can, you know, be that for the rest of the game. There's a library with things to check out. There's a food creator, food of the future. You can create food for any animal, any combination of animal too, that you want to make. It's a museum, even like an arcade hidden on this little pathway that you have to go down. It's like a little left or right. You have to memorize your path there, and when you finally get to the end, you get to play a game. What is that game? Well, you'll have to find out for yourself. That's one secret I'm keeping to myself in this one. You can go do it. This pathway is a little troublesome, but it's not hard. It's just a little bit of a nuisance to get across, but it's worth checking out for the game at the end. So that's the journey. There's not a lot of cross paths between this one. Sometimes you gotta go, like you get the oil can from the Old West and then go back to the medieval era and then you can unlock the door, but there's not a lot of cross paths between different time zones in this game. There is pretty much like you pick one and you can complete it in one go. There's a little bit, like I said, pick one up, go back to another one, but if you know what you're doing, and like I said, I played this game 3 times the other day, so I'm pretty fresh on what I need to do in this game. The path you have to go down, like you can just go down one, finish it. Go down another one, finish it. Sometimes you won't know, like for instance, the primordial soup bowl. Sometimes you get it for later. Sometimes you just give it right back to wield. So that's one thing to keep track of. But yeah, this game of course isn't hard. I say all the time, Putt Putt's the easiest of the Humongous Entertainment franchises, but that does not mean that this game is bad. It's got a ton of charm. It's a ton of fun. And if I didn't love it so much, I wouldn't have played it 3 times in a night. That's for sure. Timeline-wise, though, this game is bigger than other Putt Putt games. It'll run about an hour, especially if you don't know, like, all the puzzles yet. You have to backtrack a little bit to find different things. And if you're just looking around, discovering things, playing the mini-games, talking to characters, like, fully embracing what Humongous games are wonderful for, that this game will clock in a little bit longer than other Putt Putt games. But for me, by the 3rd time, it still took me about 40 minutes. Of course, I wasn't skipping dialogue or anything, but about 40 minutes to get through, which is still a decent amount of time. So absolutely, I love this one. If you're going to play one Putt Putt game, and you're not a big zoo person or whatever, or some of the other ones we're looking into the future for, this is probably, well, thinking of it right now, not having it played a couple of the other ones going forward in recent times, this one stands as my favorite at the moment. So if you have to pick one, by all means, Putt Putt Travel Through Time is the way to go. So, have you played Putt Putt Travels Through Time? If so, what are your experiences with it? Do you love it as much as me? Maybe it's your least favorite. Please let me know. I love this one. I hope you do too. I hope you, if you haven't played it, go out and check it out because it's a ton of fun. I love this one. I love the puzzles in this one. It's a blast. There's not one part of this game that I would really change. It does everything that a Humongous game does well. You know, maybe as an adult, I wish the puzzles were a little harder, but like I said, Putt Putt's the easiest of the 4 franchises.
Guess what? I did it! I did it! I found all my things! And Pep too!
Congratulations, Putt Putt! I knew you would!
Now I can finally show you my new school supplies!
Excellent, Putt Putt! But first, I must close the time portal for good! We don't need any more disasters!
Disasters? I don't know about that, Mr. Firebird. I guess it all depends on how you look at it. Between you and me, I thought time traveling was the best fun ever.
Well, I'm glad you had so much fun, Putt Putt. But according to my calculations, you're going to be late for school unless you hurry.
Yipes, you're right, Mr. Firebird. I'll show you my report later. Here's my history report. Now let me tell you what I learned.
That'll about do it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. And as always, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.